JD, we talked about Trent McDuffie, and a lot of people said, with getting Christian Fulton, maybe that means McDuffie will be a slot cornerback because he really is a slot cornerback. He's not actually an outside cornerback, which is, pretty insulting comparatively since we've seen him do his work on the outside, right? And a lot of people say, he's strong as a slot corner. A lot of people say that, but Dave Merritt had something to say about Trent McDuffie and his skills. So here's Dave Merritt on Trent McDuffie.
Trent is still our number one, and so he's at the outside position. I'm quite sure that Spags has a little more, would put a little more emphasis on possibly trying to move Trent around if we can. And so, but right now, Trent is the number one outside corner. And if we get to a point during the season where we can slide him in the inside, that'll be great.
This kind of echoes of what you've been saying all along when we talked about this earlier on in the offseason, where people saying, he's more of a slot cornerback. Let's draft a guy so we can put him in at his actual position. That's one good thing about McDuffie is the fact that you can keep him outside, and then if need be, you can move him around. And that's what you love about him, kind of being the ultimate chess piece as a cornerback. You can kind of move him all over the place if need be. But, yeah, it looks like Dave Merritt kind of echoed what you said, JD. He is the cornerback one.
He's the cornerback one, and he's played like it. And like I said, it goes into what he's done, all year, what he's graded out at. And so what Dave is actually saying when he says he's a cornerback one, but they can move him around, that means Trent can travel. Okay, so what does that mean? That means your best receiver, wherever he is on the field, Trent McDuffie in man coverage will go get him. Okay, having a corner that travels defensively is an asset. It's an asset because what you're telling him primarily do is shut down their big dog, shut down their guy. That's what you want him to do. So if Justin Jefferson, give you one, Tyreek Hill, whoever it may be, is you think it's going to kill you for the game, and you go into defensive, blueprint as far as what you're going to go. Teams may go in and say, hey, look, what we're going to do is we're going to look for matchups. It's all about matchups in the league. Matchup is Tyreek Hill on the second corner, or Tyreek Hill in a slot, or somebody else that may be not as good as Trent McDuffie. Well, David's saying, shoot, if we need to, the other guys step up. Trent could travel. Let him stay on Tyreek. We don't want Tyreek killing us or Justin Jefferson or CD Lamb. CD Lamb, we're going to be playing him this year. They're going to be throwing the ball to him. So that's what it means when he said he can move him around. And so doing that, but also to give him the ability to blitz off because he does the corner and all those different things. It's chess pieces to Spags. And so he'll utilize that maybe as a cover, okay, if you will, right? He'll bluff. Well, Trent's going to be on his side. Well, now he might just come or he might do something totally different. And that's what I love about it, okay? That gives you more space for creativity, Marcus, especially with your defense game plan. So he's a dog. We used to call the old McGruff the crime dog. That's McDuffie the crime dog, right? So that's a beautiful thing if he's able to do that. It really is. It changes things. Now, obviously, we know that teams down have two jokers that they have at least, right? Who's going to kill you? But we know, Jamar Chase is number one up there in Cincinnati. You can name all the number ones on people's teams. Yep. You understand that. You just hope that everybody else holds up on they end of the bargain to shut down number two. So,
JD, obviously you and I are both on the same page. We both love McDuffie. We both think he's a beast. Why do you think he gets this disrespect? Is it because of his stature is the reason why people say, oh, he's more of a slot cornerback? I mean, and it's not to knock slot cornerbacks. Slot cornerbacks have a role, right? And it adds to his versatility, the fact that he can do slot cornerbacks, because not every cornerback one can be an inside guy, which just tells you how talented he is. But why does he get that, he's primarily a slot cornerback, so if the Chiefs do replace him on the outside, you can move him back to his position. Because I remember that was a lot of people's rationales for drafting a cornerback high, either the first round or second round, so they can move Trent McDuffie back to his position of being a slot cornerback. Why does he get that kind of level of disrespect?
It is. It's because of his size. That's what they're doing. They count him out. He's not the size of a Sauce Gardner or Patrick Surtain II. He's not that type of guy, that size. He ain't built like that big dude, 6'2" or 6'3", 6'4", the opposing force of a guy that you look at. Trent McDuffie gets the job done. He's every bit of 5'10", standing on a couple of shoulder pads. He 5'10", So hey, but he just say he's 5'10", he's 5'10", whatever, right? 5'10". Trent McDuffie's 5'10", but that joker plays like he's 6'4". Plays like he's 6'4". And the thing is, if you're 6'4", he may have a couple more interceptions going up. But the thing is, he is in everybody's hip pocket. He's in their chest. He shuts him down. He's a shutdown corner in this league. So, yeah, put him in a slot if you want to say that. That, to me, you're doing a disservice for a guy that could cover anybody in the league and do a hell of a job with it, right? Because you're going to have big receivers that are 6'4", right? Xavier Legette and all those guys, you start talking about all the day. I start talking like Legette when I start talking, saying his name. But that's the problem. The problem is, he's just not a tall guy. But he's got a big heart and he's got big playability. And that's all you need. That's it. You cover a guy like that all day long, Marcus. So.
And a short tackler. That's something a lot of those DB ones we're talking about, the prototypical cornerback size, those guys can't tackle like Trent McDuffie either. No,
he's solid. He's a solid guy. And the thing is, because he has low center of gravity, he's got big thighs, which helps him a lot too, man. He's powerful. That's another thing they need to understand, man. He'll get into Joker's chest and take somebody right off their route. And we've seen it. He's sticky like glue, man. He is sticky like glue. That's why he's rated so high, because of it. So, yeah, you want to say because he's 5'10" or whatever it is, you want to short him, go ahead. He's one of the best corners in the league. Cover corners, period, bottom line, and tacklers. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Tyron Young, I think because he has a gaping hole in his game, and that's the taller, speedy wide receiver on deep routes, he is getting better.
Getting better, but he don't believe that. He don't believe there's a hole in his game at all.
Yeah, but I quite frankly think that the reason why, because a lot of people also, his ball hawk ability, right? He's not an interception guy, right? His stats, he had 2 last year. It was his first 2 of his career in the NFL, and I think he only had maybe 2 or 3 in college. But that kind of tells you he's really not getting targeted a lot, because that means he's shadowing his guy, and the quarterbacks really aren't testing him. That's why he's not getting that many interceptions, which kind of tells you how good a play he is. If you're not hearing a guy's name all the time, especially a cornerback, that means he's not getting targeted for good reason.
Yeah.
That's also plays a part too, and why he may not get the attention that all other cornerbacks get, because he's not really getting interceptions because he's not really getting targeted.
But no, because then they would recognize that you just don't throw to that side. You don't throw on that guy, and it's actually good if you don't hear his name. Like you said, they know. Hey, quarterbacks, buyer beware. Trent 22's over there. Do not throw that way. Okay, do not throw that. And guess what? The quarterback coach, the OC, he'll let everybody know. Don't throw over there to Trent McDuffie. If you try to throw a slant, he'll pick it off. They'll let you know. They know what the guy's strength is. So maybe fans and everybody else out here don't recognize it. We know it. Coaches know. They see it. Offenses know who 22 is. They do. And so we've seen everybody's best, showing it to him, and Trent, he stepped up to the plate, man. He's done it. We've seen it. So.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.